Brian, I am so excited to talk about this because I believe this is something we can fix. This is actually a statistic that we can impact, that we can improve, because I think a lot of people feel this way. Money and talking about financial topics, it just raises a lot of discomfort and a lot of anxiety. And I think that's pretty common across the American populace.
Well, I mean, we live in anxious times. And if you know anything about stress, anxiety, a lot of times it's because you're worried about decisions you made in the past, or you're worried about your future, some big thing happening. But you know what could really help out with all of this? Instead of just letting life happen, instead of just being a passive participant, you can actually take an active role. And guess what? Plan. I think planning is the missing cogbo that can help people see the other side of this.
Yeah, there was actually a study done by Empower, and they said, hey, how would you feel about this? And 78% of their respondents said having a financial plan, having something actually written down, helped reduce their stress. Brian, we talk about this all the time, and we see people who have like big goals or big visions or big dreams. One of the things we always say to them is if you actually want to see that dream become a reality, if you actually want to see your circumstances change from where they are right now, you have to actually write it down. You have to have pen on paper so that you can come up with steps to move from where you are today to ultimately where you want to be. And when it comes to your finances, it's really no different.
Well, and I think people will quickly realize a lot of the things they stress about are things they actually can control.
Yep.
So the big thing, if I was giving advice on how do we get on the other side of this stress or anxiousness that you have, first, figure out what you can control and not get caught up in all the noise of the media and everything else. And guess what? We have created the perfect what do you do with your next dollar guide with the tried and true financial order of operations.
That's exactly right. Rather than having to guess, rather than having to try to figure out, because a lot of people think, oh, okay, I got to write a financial plan, or I got to figure, where do I start? What do I do? It does not have to be incredibly complicated. As a matter of fact, building wealth is really pretty simple. Not necessarily easy, but it's pretty simple. And the financial order of operations was designed to be a 9-step process to help you begin putting your financial plan together. And what we love to see happen is when someone discovers this for the first time and they interact with the food for the first time, they say, man, I didn't know I could think about it that way. Man, I didn't know that I could have confidence in my financial life. If you can begin to do that, you can be one of these 78% of people who actually feel less stressed because you have an actual plan in place.
I know that there's only about 40% of our audience that's actually subscribed. So a lot of you are brand new to these concepts. Hey, at a minimum, go out to moneyguy.com/resources. We have tons of absolutely free stuff to really help you accelerate and jumpstart your journey so you can actually be in control and know what's going on with your money. Now, for those of you who've been around for a while and you start to go, man, I love whether these guys are doing the Making a Millionaire show, whether they're doing their reacts. I just feel like these guys always put me in a good place to know how to answer things. And you might be thinking, but I've had so much success from watching this content for the last decade that now I feel like I am the CFO or even the CEO of this 7-figure enterprise, and I just don't know what I know or should know. We like to let people know that this same Empower research also shared that 65% of respondents said speaking with a financial professional was important or helped. And I think that's the big thing is, and that's why I love that we get to give away so much free content so you can be empowered to be the best version of yourself. But we're also kind of that backstop when you realize, oh my gosh, I have created a complexity because of my success. We're there for you.
I think people are amazed to hear us say, because we get this question all the time, do you guys feel that everyone needs a financial advisor?
Nope.
And the answer is no. I think with all the resources out there, with YouTube channels and great books like Millionaire Mission and podcasts and all of these things available to you, a lot of folks putting together a financial plan is not something you necessarily need a professional to help you do. But just like Brian said, there are times and phases where if you do grow to the level of complexity where having a professional, having a second set of eyes on your finances, someone who's navigated the thing that you're trying to navigate, not just one time, not just 2 times, but maybe hundreds of times, that thing can give you a peace of mind knowing, okay, my plan is solid, my plan is sound, and no matter what the world throws at me, I'm going to be okay.
I thought you were about to turn into a Commodore.
What I
Because
did?
you said 1 time, 2 times. I thought you were going to go 3 times a lady, But no, in all seriousness, we did want to give you, once again, we're loading you up with free content. If you go out to moneyguy.com/resources, if you are at that cusp of figuring out, do I need an advisor? We have the 8 questions you ought to ask a financial advisor. These are the tough questions that probably, the advisor, if they're not on the right side of the table from you, are probably going to be dread that you ask them these questions. So go out there, download this free resource, and you'll be that much better for it and prepared to know, hey, is this person going to be kind of my teammate or the person that's going to put my interests ahead of theirs and actually get me to my great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
And if you're someone out there that says, man, I've been listening to these guys for a long time. I love what they say. I love the way that they talk about finances. I love the way that they look at solving financial problems. This is what we get to do in our day job. So if you are at that stage, we'd love for you to consider giving us a chance at Abound Wealth to talk to you about helping you put together a financial plan. And I would encourage you, when you talk to us, when you talk to one of our advisors here, you should have those 8 questions in front of you, because you should ask any advisor you're working with, because what you ultimately want to do is make sure that the person you're working with, the person you're seeking counsel from, is someone that you feel comfortable with, someone you feel can help you live your great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Because what I love to see, Brian, is when people can figure this out, when they can figure out, man, I don't have to be stressed about money. It doesn't have to be another thing creating anxiety in my life. It doesn't have to be another thing that's making me uncomfortable. It can actually be a tool, an asset, a resource for all of the things that I want to do in this life. That's a pretty exciting thing to get to see.